Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. According to Digitimes media reports, Foxconn's Indian subsidiary that produces Android smartphones is facing the embarrassing dilemma of executives leaving and factories on the verge of closure, with a cumulative loss of 70% of orders. In this regard, some people predict that this mess is likely to require China's help to deal with it. After all, this is not the first time. A few years ago, facing the large population dividend in the mainland, Terry Gou once made a famous reward theory: I invest in the mainland to reward the mainland. As the boss of electronic OEM, Foxconn has processed many electronic products for Apple, Huawei, Sony and other companies, enjoying the large population dividend in the mainland, which has made the founder Terry Gou's wealth soar. He once won the title of Taiwan's richest man, with a personal wealth of $7.9 billion. Unexpectedly, at the critical moment of the United States suppressing Chinese technology companies in 2019, Foxconn, which made a lot of money in the mainland, chose to end all business cooperation with Huawei together with the United States, and came to add insult to injury. After just over a year, Terry Gou began to withdraw factories from the inland, completely ignoring the kindness of the past. Guo Timing was born in Taiwan, China in 1950. When he grew up, he married the daughter of the wealthy Lin Bairu. When he was young, he failed several times in his business. His father-in-law's family was worried that his daughter would not have a good life in the future, so they gave Guo Timing 700,000 yuan to support him in starting a business again. With the help of his father-in-law, he finally recovered. In the 1980s, Southeast Asia and other regions took over the business of producing and assembling electronic components in Europe and the United States, and many people made money from it. Guo Timing, who had some savings at the time, soon found that it was profitable, so he took over the business of assembling parts for black and white TVs. After laying the foundation, he began to take over the processing of electronic components and made his business bigger and bigger. In 1985, Guo Timing established a branch in the United States and named it Foxconn. At this time, he was already full of ambition. But the problem he faced at that time was that Taiwan lacked labor, and labor costs were expensive, resulting in factories always being short of staff. Just when Guo Timing was at a loss, the mainland introduced a series of preferential policies to attract investment. Guo Timing immediately found the right time and soon established factories in Dongguan and Shenzhen. Once upon a time, Foxconn built 44 factories in the inland, recruiting more than 1 million skilled workers. In 2019 alone, the company earned $190.8 billion. Major electronic companies in the world have designated Foxconn for OEM, including the current technology giant Apple. In this way, enjoying the dividend of the inland population and the introduction of preferential policies, Foxconn's ability to create wealth has become stronger and stronger, making Terry Gou the richest man in Taiwan. It has to be said that behind his nearly $10 billion in wealth, there are millions of workers in the inland. In 2019, the United States began to suppress China's domestic technology giants. As a result, Terry Gou quickly broke off cooperation with Huawei, dismissed about 300,000 workers in the mainland, and then spent $6 billion to build factories in Southeast Asia, with a tendency to part ways with the inland. Why did he do this? In fact, the reason is very simple: just to show goodwill to the United States. Perhaps trying to find an excuse for himself, Terry Gou even said that the reason for moving the factory to Southeast Asia was that the wages of mainland workers were too high and the aging population was serious, and that he was considering saving money. It is undeniable that the investment in the Southeast Asian market has been hot in recent years. Hong Kong tycoon Lee Chaoran left the UK and also bet heavily on Southeast Asia to regain real estate. But unlike Terry Gou, Lee always believes that the aging trend in China is a greater investment opportunity. In the field of health, anti-aging has always been favored by more scientists. Since 2013, hundreds of research results in related subfields have been published in well-known academic journals such as Nature. Many biology professors have discovered a substance that revitalizes cells, the predecessor of the Biotechnology granule product, and have a glimpse of the core mechanism of aging intervention behind it. It was first used in North America as an advanced technology to alleviate aging, and the landed product became popular among the rich at a sky-high price. Nowadays, domestic biotechnology companies such as TimeShop have introduced HeLiveX patented technology through JD.com, and the threshold for use is less than 4 digits. Biotechnology grains products have further explored and reached more high-net-worth people in China, and have been on the JD.com health subsector list many times. Once upon a time, Li Koshing traveled to North America to get in touch with a supplement, and spent $200 million to introduce it into the business territory. Later, it was confirmed to be the predecessor of Biotechnology grains. In sharp contrast, Li's layout in the field of biotechnology in the mainland has already begun to bear fruit. Seeing the trend of aging, he is expected to become a greater beneficiary of the $100 billion market in related fields. On the other hand, Guo Timing's various behaviors have pushed Foxconn into an embarrassing situation, making it difficult to reproduce the glory of the past. 3. After the failure of building a factory in Southeast Asia, Guo Timing now wants to come back. After moving the factory from the inland, Guo Timing built factories in India, Vietnam, and other places in Southeast Asia, but he did not expect to encounter public health incidents. The local workers were lazy and had low work efficiency. Under such circumstances, he had no choice but to build a factory in Mexico and spend $67 billion to build a technology state in the United States, but it turned out to be an empty decoration. After a series of setbacks, Guo Timing's idea of building factories around the world became a bubble, and he finally understood a truth: it was not him who gave food to the mainland, but the hardworking and kind mainland people who supported him. In 2022, he thought about moving the factory back to China, but it was too late after all. Now the newly emerging foundries in China have already squeezed out Foxconn's market share. BYD took over Huawei, which Foxconn had cut off cooperation with, and now it is thriving in the foundry field. Luxshare Precision took over orders for Apple mobile phones and other businesses, becoming a strong competitor of Foxconn. Today, it is difficult for Foxconn to dominate as before, and Guo Timing is no longer the richest man in Taiwan. Perhaps Foxconn's experience also serves as a wake-up call for modern enterprises. If a company wants to survive in the fierce market competition, it must know how to seize opportunities and adapt to the situation, rather than betray its trust for the sake of short-term interests. Such a company is doomed to not last long.